There it is. There it is. This is the coolest place in the world if you're an exotic plant geek. Right on Old Cutler Road. In fact, it's at 10901 Old Cutler Road. Probably the coolest road on the planet. Just driving down this road is a full experience. It'll blow your mind. Anyway, here I am right here at the Fairchild Tropical Botanical Garden. You got to put it on your bucket list, people. If you're into tropical plants at all, you absolutely have to come down to this garden. And yeah, there you go. Let's do it. And just like that, I'm in. 26 bucks later, you get to go see the coolest garden in the world. And there's no way I can do this place justice in a reasonable amount of film time that you're willing to watch. Unless you want to watch like a 10-hour movie. Like this beautiful mosaic here. I don't know the history, but look, all the palm fronds on the mosaic. Look, another palm. Oh my gosh, this place is awesome. Here's this, the native stone that they use so much here. This incredible staircase. Get a close up of this stuff. It's like, it looks like coral, but I guess it's not. It's like some kind of, somebody's trying to explain it to me, but I really don't know what it is. Look it up, look it up. But it's the stuff they use everywhere. But look at this just incredible staircase coming out of the back of the visitor center. And as you saw, you could buy all kinds of trinkets in there, but that's not what you're here for. You're here to see the plants. So, I don't know. I have an hour and a half. Take a lifetime to really go through this garden. I'll just film the highlights and show you what I see as I go. Hopefully the video won't be too long. If it is, I apologize. You can always turn it off. Maybe, I tell people, my videos, they're perfect if you have insomnia. You know, you just, listen to me jibber jabber, and within a couple minutes, you'll be asleep. So, and you can watch it the next night. Yeah, so no need to not fall asleep. Just watch Gary's videos. All right, let's just go cruise it. Here's a fun idea, guys. Take your concrete pathways, throw a little bit of color on them, and drop a bunch of leaves on them and stomp on them. I had this happen unintentionally in my San Diego place. I saw there's this perfect leaf shape. It just fell off the tree. That's a philodendron. You can't really see that because of the sun. Here it is. Here it is in the sun. Philodendron right there. But yeah, it's a really fun thing to do. Here's a banana leaf imprint. Banana leaf. That's a cycad leaf. And another cycad leaf. But yeah, someday they're going to dig this up and be like, oh, look, these plants were all native here. Look, I found fossilized evidence. No, it's just concrete. It's just the botanical garden where they collected this stuff from all over the world and brought it here. Yeah, here's some beautiful bananas. Okay, it's shaded and it's wet. It really shows itself off here. Look at that, isn't that cool? And then here is a more pinnate frond right there, impregnated into the concrete. So we did this at the Oakland Zoo years ago. Super cool. And yeah, you just throw leaves and stuff all over it, just everywhere. Just kind of, even if they're like little seeds and things, that's where you get all these divots. It just ends up looking like the forest floor. So it's a really fun way to creating a garden path in your garden. Cool thing about this botanical garden is there are benches everywhere. And they typically set the benches up in places that have really nice views. And this is one of them. Look at this view running across this water. And then when you look off in the distance and you truly study it, you think, wow, I want to go hang out under those palms. Well, they've already thought about that because there are chairs and benches set up over there. So you can certainly do that. That is about the shiniest foliage I've ever seen. Look at how the light hits that. This is Dayun spinulosum. We can actually grow this in Northern California, believe it or not. You're probably not going to get it to look like this, this giant thing here. But we can grow it, and I can source this. I can get you this plant. And someday, it's going to flower. When it flowers, you're going to freak out. Now, it's really hard to tell the scale of things until you take your big sombrero and you put it in here next to your face. Look, here, see, I shaved. You can get close, I shaved. It's not going to hurt. Yeah, like that. That's how big it is. It's big. That's the big flowering cone, and my sombrero just fell off. And that's what it looks like. How about that for riotous color? Look at that. Isn't that incredible? We actually have this plant. This will grow in the Bay Area as well. It's a bromeliad. It's a big cluster of them in here, and they're all in bloom right now. The most iridescent colors you can imagine. Just another typical plant in South Florida. No big deal. Everybody's got them. And they're spectacular. And if you're at all curious, it's Acmea Blue Tango. Should I redo that take? Well, whatever. I don't have a lot of battery. Yeah, so if you like a tropical paradise rainforest experience, you can just drop right here in South Florida. This is not one little spot. This garden has multiple acres of beautiful, beautiful settings like this. Just kind of goes on forever. That's the leaf of Bauhinia glabra. How do I know that? There's a sign, which is so great about botanical gardens. It's not the leaf though, it's a vine, it's a real pretty vine. It's not the leaf which is so spectacular. Look at, it's the growth pattern. Look at this. Isn't that wild? Look at this. There's little hooks, I guess, for climbing, kind of like bougainvillea, but it makes this serpentine S pattern on it, which is just, you just kind of got to be here to believe it. Look at this. Isn't that cool? Isn't nature a trip? It almost looks like somebody braided this intentionally. It almost looks like there's two pieces growing. See this? And they're jointed. And some people do this. They braid multiple plant stems together. And I don't know what's going on here. If those are truly independent and they bridge together and they grow in duets, or if it's just singular and it just looks like a duet to confuse people like me. But in any case, it's really, really, really cool. And look, it just goes all the way up this tree and occupies the top of the canopy. And it wants to have a little style as it goes. Maybe it's an adaptation so that all of those little rounded parts will hook onto the tree and it'll be less likely to fall out of the tree. There's always a reason. Well, there's usually a reason. Sometimes there's just not a reason for interesting forms in nature. But yeah, Bauhinia, there it is, shimmering. Pritchardia, a long way away from home from Hawaii, growing happily. South Florida. You don't see too many Pritchardia down here. It's kind of strange. You'd think you'd see more. Beautiful palm. Here is Ceratozamia mexicana. We can absolutely grow this plant in Northern California. It's plenty hardy enough, and it is so beautiful. However, it probably will never look like this. I've had it in my garden for quite a while, and it looks really beautiful, but it doesn't look like this. This is spectacular. I'm gonna get a still frame. Yeah. So if you're into orchids, and many of you are, and you like to sit in your garden, I have an idea for you. An orchid bench. Look at this. All you need is a bench and a little bit of wood, some screws. You can customize your bench by screwing onto it a little back platform. In this case, we have arching plywood. That's just simply plywood cut in the arch to match the bench and stained to match. And within that arch, you're going to see little pieces of plywood. In fact, there are a lot of pieces of plywood that get left over from construction, little pieces that they can't use. Look, here's like about a 5-inch by 5-inch platform, and another one, and another one, and another one. See how that works? You just screw them simply here. 1, 2 screws, 1, 2 screws, 1, 2 screws, all the way. This is a pretty fantastic idea. This is at the Fairchild Tropical Botanical Garden in Miami, which you should come to. And it's at the dedication for Shani Levine, and she actually looked like she didn't have the longest life, but I'm sure she's living on in spirit right here. So yeah, there you go. Beautiful orchid DIY project for you. You heard it here first. True Plant Stories. Well, doesn't that look familiar? It's one of my favorite palms. Berhia armata. This is pretty much native just south of San Diego in the mountains of Mexico. And here it is showing up in Florida, showing itself off. And you can see the best way to use this plant, because of its incredible silver coloration, is right in front of much darker green material, or even better, shadows. Look at how it stands out against the shadows. So yeah, that's a great way to use this. I'm really surprised to see it. It's kind of a desert palm, so I'm surprised it's doing so well in such a tropical, humid, heavy rainfall environment, but it likes it. Anytime you see mist floating out of a garden and tropical plants around it, you need to go investigate. Look at this. Oh, got the mist machines pumping. I wonder what the story is with this, if it's natural or what, but we're gonna go down there and investigate. It's a little stream that comes out of the forest. See if I can see it a little better over there. You see in there? Okay, and it comes off a nice little waterfall, which I can hear, but only partially see, with a giant mist cloud below. Ooh, yeah, this is my kind of setup. Let's go investigate. So when you come to the Fairchild, you better go see the sunken garden. That's what we're gonna see right now. That's where the mist is coming from. I'm gonna try really hard not to get naked and go for a swim, because I'm assuming that I will be compelled to do so once I get down there. And you know, that's probably not really condoned here, so I probably won't. Here it is. Oh, the mist feels so good. Oh, paradise. How'd you like to have this in your backyard? Oh, look, someone's drinking water. See him? Who can spot him? Can anyone? You see him? You see him now? All right, if you don't see him, I'll point him out. Oops. Right there. That's an iguana in the freeze frame. He's waiting for me to move. He doesn't think I see him, but I do. I see you. I see you. I know you're trying to look like the forest, but I see you. So if you come on down to the sunken garden, oh, there he goes. Then you'll probably see some interesting things like that. But look at this. I wonder if this is partially natural, if they excavated this out, or what the story is. This is a fun little secret spot. I'm not going to say it, but just imagine you were a mischievous teenager. I wouldn't know what that's like. And you live nearby, and on a full moon night, you talk your girlfriend into going to the sunken garden and hopping a fence. I talked to some of the people who work at the Lotus Lands in Montecito, and they said that was definitely a thing. A lot of the docents there that are older now used to do that when they were young, and now they're back working there as volunteers. So, you know, You might hook a volunteer by letting them sneak in the garden and, you know, enjoying the moonlight. That's where you'd want to do it, I would say. I don't see any crocodiles in there. You ever wonder, like, what's behind the mist? Maybe there's a terrible monster back there. Maybe not. But the only way that we will know is if we just walk through it. Find out. I'm a little scared. I don't know. What do you think? Keep your eyes open. You guys ever seen the movie Predator? If you haven't seen the movie Predator, you should watch it. And you'll know how terrified I am right now as I'm walking through the mist. You ever see that movie King Kong? Same thing. Just don't know what's up here. Get ready to run. Just be ready. Be ready for anything. Wait a minute. Huh. It's just a garden bench, people. That's all it is. No harm, no foul. There you go. Yeah. That was a fun game though, wasn't it? I thought it was funny. That's the mist trail right there. You got to try it sometime. It's fantastic. If you have little kids, tell them there might be monsters up that trail. Freak them out. Make them think they're about to get eaten, and they'll never forget it. Ask my kids. I used to play games like that all the time with them. They love it. Well, I don't know. Maybe I messed them up. Be careful. For once you go tropical, you generally don't come back. Look at these beautiful glass sculptures in the lily pond, accenting the color, the very delicate blue color of those lilies, echoed in those glass forms. Nice. How's that for a shot right there? Yeah, so once people discover they can grow tropical plants, it's really hard for them to go back to the boring stuff. And there's just so much you can do with the tropical plants. Yeah, I'm in South Florida, but we could probably grow like at least a third of this stuff in the San Francisco Bay Area. You could probably grow a tenth of it all the way up into Seattle. And as such, you can kind of create more or less the same effect, believe it or not, as you see here. So I'm heading off to the palm garden. It's over here somewhere. It's like the whole place is the palm garden. But somewhere over here is the official palm garden. I've been here several times to the Fairchild, but it's just like, you're never going to figure this place out. It's so big. So you could just walk in circles and not even know you did. Here's an interesting bit of textural color on the ground in the form of these blossoms that fell off of this palm here, which I believe is Montgomery palm. Pretty sure. That's a vecchia right there. Vecchia palm. And it's partying with a bunch of other like vecchia palms. And sometimes you get you go to a party sometimes and, everyone's having a good time, getting loose. And there's always that one guy who's just getting crazy, just going sideways. Yeah, let's party. You ever see Old School? Kind of like that guy. And this one here is doing that very same thing. Maybe like these two, they're the hardcore partiers, just going sideways. This one and that one. Every party needs them because it kind of builds up the tempo, you know what I mean? I've had to provide that function before, so I know what it's like. It's a big responsibility, but someone's got to do it. Whoa! Ha.
you can't be sneaking up on me like that. That's going to give me a heart attack. Please don't do that. I didn't see you there until I was about to walk by. No, seriously, that's going to conclude our tour of the Fairchild Tropical Botanical Garden in South Miami. Now, I am seriously contemplating putting together like a 3 or 4 day scary, hairy, Gary, South Florida, Miami tropical garden touring event where I find a really good deal in a hotel right around here somewhere. We go to this garden, we go to the Montgomery Palm Center, we go to private gardens, we go see some really cool nurseries. We just geek out. All you plant geeks all across the country. How great would it be to get out of your cold climate, come down here sometime in January, and celebrate the oncoming spring season for gardening, and celebrate in this most beautiful tropical place of South Florida. So look for me to do that. If you're interested in that, send me a line at info@goldengatepalms.com. See how much interest there is. But I think we could have a lot of fun. Everybody flies down, gets to the hotel from the airport, gets there by 5 p.m. the first day. We have a happy hour. Everybody gets to know each other. And then bam, we hop in some vans, cruise around, and just plant geek out at all these places I love to go. I'd love to meet y'all too. That's it.